Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to talk about constructors and destructors in classes. Okay, so a constructor is a very first thing that runs when an object is created. It is usually designed for initialization tasks, things like assigning default values to member variables, doing some pre-calculation, or setting up layouts. Okay, and a destructor runs right before an object's lifetime ends. It is often used for cleanup tasks, such as releasing memory occupied by member variables. Okay, we will continue using the same example from the previous video. If we want to distinguish between different classes, we could give each class a member variable called type. When the object is created, we will automatically initialize this value, so we know which class the object belongs to. Here's how that looks. Now, how do we actually write a constructor? The syntax looks like a function, but you don't need to specify a return type. For example, in the engineer class, the constructor should be inside the public section and start with the class name and be followed by parentheses and a pair of curly brackets. Okay, you can define parameters inside the parentheses just like a function, but for now, let's leave it empty. Okay, there are two ways to set member variables inside a constructor. The first one is assign them inside the curly braces, just like this. Okay, and the second one is use a colon after the parentheses and followed by the member variable, and give it a value in parentheses. Okay, you only need to choose one method. Personally, I prefer this one. Now that we've written constructors for these classes, engineer, manager, and director. Okay, let's make a function to retrieve type. Let's move on to main function and declare some objects. Okay, here we directly code getType to see if the constructor worked as expected. Let's run this and see what happens. And yes, it did. Each object type is set correctly. Now let's talk about destructors. Taking engineer as an example, the syntax is almost the same as a constructor, except you add a tilde before the class name. When an engineer object is about to be destroyed, the destructor will automatically run. Here, we will simply output a message. Back in main functions, let's also see how to dynamically allocate a class object. Compared to dynamically allocating a struct, this is even simpler. Just declare a pointer and use the keyword new with the constructor. That's it. And don't forget to use an arrow to call function member. okay? And we use delete at the end to free the memory and trigger the Destructor. Okay, let's run this. As you can see, everything works just as expected. Okay, that's a quick introduction to constructors and destructors. In the next video, we will keep using these examples to dive into more important concepts in classes. See you then.